Hi, my name is Tanya. I'm a therapist here at the Colley Institute, where we are a counseling and wellness practice devoted to helping high-achieving individuals access their best life and joyfully release their inner badass. So tonight here on Facebook Live, we're going to talk a little bit about how to detach from the endless to-do list and enjoy the little things in life a little bit more. I have a friend, and it really is a friend. I'm not like saying it's a friend, but really it's about me. But I think sometimes it can be about me. But in general, this is about my friend who has the longest to-do list. It's always being added to, and it results in my friend feeling a lot of stress about getting things done, about getting things checked off, and then feels guilt all weekend or all evening, all any free time when the things aren't getting checked off the list. And that just is resulting in kind of this catch-22 of more things being added to the list, feeling bad about the list, not doing anything on the list because the list is overwhelming, and then feeling guilty and then adding things to it. And it just it's resulting in not a great experience for my friend. And it makes sense. That would be overwhelming. And I don't think that my friend is alone in this experience, that this may be a common experience for a lot of people where the list is just growing and then it feels overwhelming and then we feel guilty about not doing anything, but then that doesn't help us feel motivated. And so we just kind of give up and on it goes. So tonight, I just wanted to kind of explore a little bit 3 ideas for maybe interrupting that pattern and getting out of that overwhelming to-do list feeling and in being able to enjoy some of the little things in life a little bit more. So the first thing is the idea of doing one thing at a time. And I do feel like in a lot of these Facebook Lives, I'm talking about being present and mindfulness, and I'm going to continue that tonight. So doing one thing at a time, looking at your list and picking one thing and doing that one thing instead of looking at the big picture of like, geez Louise, this list is 47 things long, or I have to do these 22 things before I can do something else. Like big picture looking, there's what's the word I want? There are good reasons to look big picture sometimes, but there also is value in kind of breaking it down into a little piece, breaking it down one piece at a time and doing just one thing at a time, being aware and present for that one task. This also gives us an opportunity to acknowledge and maybe even celebrate that we knocked something off the list. And it's okay that it's just one thing off the list. It's one thing off the list. And then we can repeat that process with another part of the list. But not being able or not wanting to look big picture means that we need to do this second tip, which is prioritize that list. And in this sense for tonight, I'm bringing up the idea of prioritizing by looking at the list as like, what is one thing on the list that I can do that might make other parts of the list easier, or other parts of my life easier? So for example, do I want to spend 3 or 4 hours on a Sunday meal prepping? Not always. But if I know that if I do that, if I commit that time to marking that one thing off my list, then I go to the grocery store one time, I get the things I actually need because I've sat down and looked at the recipes and planned it all out, and then go home, I do the prep, it's all ready for the week. And then I know for the rest of the week, there's lunches and dinners. And sometimes when I'm really being productive on a Sunday, there might even be like smoothies ready for breakfast every day as well. And that frees up a lot of time in the evening. It makes the morning go smoother because I'm not rushing around trying to guess like, what am I going to even do for lunch? And so by prioritizing meal prep and grocery on Sunday, that frees up a lot of time. I'm not going to the grocery store on the week. I'm not having to make a lot of decisions or do any preparation. And that frees up time for me to do things during the weeknights, like go on a walk with a friend or go to a yoga class or read a book or watch a movie. And so spending time with people doing whatever. So that is kind of an idea for how to prioritize. What's something I can do that will make the rest of the week or the rest of the day or the rest of whatever go a little smoother. Another way that you can kind of think about prioritizing, oh, no worries. We're having a little technical situation. Another way to think about prioritizing is what on the list might free up some energy. So the last one was about freeing up time. What would maybe free up some energy? Are you carrying around a box that you've been meaning to donate to Goodwill or the Ark or wherever? Has that been in your trunk for 4 months? And every time you open the trunk, you're like, ugh, this whole thing again. Maybe that's the priority one day, is to go and actually just drop that stuff off and get it off your list. And then every time you open the trunk, you're not expending energy that is frustrating and down on yourself. And so that may just be, maybe that's a way to prioritize. And again, taking the time to celebrate if you knock something off your list. If something frees up time, then that is something also to celebrate, that you're getting to do the other things that you wanted to do during the week or later in the day or whatever. So just thinking about prioritization in a different way, perhaps. And then the last tip is about flexibility. And there's a lot of ways to think about flexibility. And so I'm going to kind of throw out this first, a new way, is to think about flexibility in terms of the idea that this constant to-do listing that we often do, this constant striving and like I have to accomplish all this stuff, that can really leave us feeling like we're falling behind, or that we're coming from a place of lack or a place of not good enough or not productive enough. And that is heavy to carry around. And so maybe taking some time to be, or taking the opportunity, I guess, to be flexible with how you look at your to-do list, and being flexible about it. Maybe something on your to-do list could be that you spend a day feeling extra grateful for whatever comes your way that day, and that may not feel productive in the way that we are kind of trained, or society is putting pressure on us to be productive, but maybe that results in us having a really nice day because we've ended the day by feeling more gratitude throughout it. And that may feel good. And maybe that's valuable enough to be on the list and take the space of something that is quote unquote more productive. So just being flexible in how you think about what's on your list, and also being flexible with knowing that what was helpful yesterday may not be what's helpful tomorrow. Kind of thinking back to idea number 2 about the prioritization. And so just being flexible and giving yourself some grace that you are doing what you can do, and that you're trying to be more, by being more aware and being more present, that is helping you to get what you need, being able to enjoy more of the day, feel less stress about the list, etc. So just kind of thinking about these, if you are noticing that you have an overwhelming to-do list, maybe trying 1 or 2 or all 3 of these in the coming week or so, and just seeing like, what does it feel like if I just do one thing at a time and I'm not focusing on the 47 things, I'm only focusing on this one? And what does it feel like to cross that thing off and take a moment to notice that? Where do you feel that in your body? What does that change about your mindset? So just kind of noticing, or maybe thinking about prioritizing a little bit different. What's something that you could do that frees up more time for you later, and being flexible again about how you think about what's on the list and how you're prioritizing that. And I want to just point out also that we have a free class that's taught by the Colley Institute co-founder, Crystal Hines, about dealing with toxic stress at work. And so if your to-do list has a lot to do with what's going on at work, this might be a really great free resource for you to explore. And I think that there's a link in the comments. So there's a link in the comments to that. And if you try any of these things, or you look at your to-do list a little different, or you increase your mindfulness and feel that you have been able to enjoy life a little bit more, please feel free to comment or send us a message. We love hearing from you, and we will we'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye. It won't stop.
Why are you doing?